What if F1 introduced the IndyCar yellow and red flag quali rule? One of the biggest talking points of the season so far has been the Charles Leclerc crash during Monaco qualifying. Not necessarily because many people think he did it on purpose. If you do think that, you're entitled to your opinion, but your opinion's wrong. But because there's been discussion around the ruling of causing yellow and red flags in qualifying and whether the driver who brings them out should be penalised. So much so, in fact, F1 themselves have said they're going to investigate whether it's something our beloved sport should implement. It's not the first time something controversial has happened around the streets of Monaco. Nico Rosberg had an unfortunate trip down an escape road in 2014 that prevented his teammate Lewis Hamilton from getting pole.
Rosberg! No! We partied in the Amber Lounge!
And even my wonderful Schumi brought his Ferrari to a halt at Rascasse, which meant Fernando Alonso had to drop off his final qualifying run. My overriding Schumi fanboy inside of me still fails to accept he did that on purpose. I know he did. So what if F1 introduced a rule seen in a championship like IndyCar? During IndyCar qualifying, if a driver causes a red flag, their 2 fastest lap times are disallowed from that segment, and they cannot advance to the next segment. A segment is similar to Q1, Q2 and Q3 in F1 qualifying. There's also a rule for if a driver causes an accident that results in another driver having to slow to observe yellow flags, they will also be punished. Take a look at how the IndyCar rulebook defines it on screen right now. After reading that, you're probably going to think the ruling is a little harsh, but it's supposedly been brought in to make the competition fair. I'm just going to come out and say it. I would not be a fan of this coming to F1. Monaco is very much an anomaly on the F1 calendar. It doesn't really fit in with the rest of the racing that we'll see this year. Qualifying is full of excitement, and yes, sometimes a yellow flag can affect other drivers who are on a push lap, but very rarely do we see a fight for pole so dramatically shut down by a car in the barriers and a red flag flown. It also brings in a huge grey area of what happens if a car breaks down through no fault of the driver, or a small piece of carbon fibre that comes off of a car and causes a yellow or red flag. It will still affect the laps of other drivers, but surely that doesn't warrant a driver being stripped of their lap times. As I said, not a fan. To give it some more context, let's take a look at a recent example in IndyCar earlier this season. Felix Rosenqvist looks set to make it through to a 12-car qualifying round when he lost control of his car and binned it in the gravel. Because of this, he prevented other drivers from improving their lap time, and therefore he wasn't allowed to keep what he had done and consequently didn't make it through to the next qualifying round. There you have it. There's potential that F1 will be taking the IndyCar route with the yellow and red flag rules in qualifying. What do you think? Will it be something that will make qualifying better or worse? Let us know in the comment section below.